Well, I there was a crazy thing happening when they became gurus. They became envious of each other, or they were always envious of each other. At least Tamal, Rameshwara, they were fighting over territory, right?
Oh, yes.
So in this way, they backstabbed each other whenever they got a chance, you know.
Precisely.
So Hansaduta had that Mount Kailash, and after he had some spiritual
Yeah, he got
difficulty.
Mount Kailash, which was huge.
Yeah.
And it had a huge lake there, which he filled up with orange koi, Japanese
Hmm.
fish. Well, normally, if you have koi pond in your backyard, the fish are maybe 6 inches long. But when he put koi out in the lake, they became 2 feet long.
Mhm. Yeah, and then when Hansaduta Prabhu had some difficulty, Hridayananda and Rameshwara, they went up and sold all their properties, and who knows what they did with the money. They probably pocketed it and took off.
Yeah, exactly.
So that is the history of Berkeley.
So we're not looking at the past as being a glorious example as an indicator of what the future should be like.
Yeah.
We're looking at the past as being an embarrassing stumbling block, and that the future is what we're doing.
Joy.
To live for 10K means we are bringing Krishna consciousness. We want like the temple in Berkeley, well, the temple in San Francisco on Frederick Street. We want that sort of temple, thousands of them all over the country, with Prabhupada in the center, the way he was back in those days. When that temple was open, Prabhupada was in the center. And that recording that we are playing before each meeting, that recording was playing 24/7 in the temple room. So that when people came in the door, all they had was Prabhupada. And nobody had any objection because nobody wanted to be in charge of anything. They all wanted to serve Prabhupada. So that's what we want to do again. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Well, everyone wanted to serve Srila Prabhupada, and Srila Prabhupada wanted to serve them in a sense where he was writing the books and then giving them spiritual instructions. But why did it all of a sudden change or gradually changed? Because did they see that they can be like Srila Prabhupada at some time? Prabhupada was so-called...
It happened in 1970, when Prabhupada saw that everything was heading towards doom. He created the GBC. And when he created the GBC, he created the direction of management that the GBC to be elected for 3-year terms from the temple presidents. But they didn't want to do that. When they saw GBC, they said, great, this is our chance to dominate as many temples as we can. In other words, instead of opening temples and helping those temples open more temples, which is what Prabhupada's intention, and Hayagriva wrote a essay called The Hare Krishna Explosion.
Yeah.
And in that Hare Krishna Explosion, he was talking about how we started out. And what was it that we started out? Playing that recording in the temple rooms. People would come into the temple, they'd want to join. 6 months after you joined the temple, they considered you fit and ready to open another temple. So when I joined the movement, there were maybe 3-4 temples in ISKCON. And then by 1969, that was a year and a half later, there were 17 temples. So there was no limit to how many temples you could open.
Yeah.
If you followed Prabhupada's original format.
Joy.
So, Prabhu, how can we reproduce that in present days when everybody is busy and all the preachers are working at
I hate
companies?
to be giving you all this bad information, bad news. Well, what can I do? It's history. Well, go ahead, Prabhu. What do you want to ask or say?
Yeah, Prabhu, I was asking that how can we reproduce that success like in present days when all the preachers are working in companies having their jobs? So how can we
Ramachandra,
reproduce
can
that
you help me?
environment
I can't quite understand what you said.
in which a new bhakta or new devotee can be trained to open a temple within 6 months?
Yeah, 6 months. Because you all in 6 months you got your first initiation. Then you, as soon as you got your first initiation, 6 months later, you got your second initiation.
He's
Brahmin
asking a
initiation.
he's
What?
asking a question. How can it be recreated like that? That was happening in 68, 67. How can it
Well,
be?
that's what the League for 10K is doing. Because if we can create thousands of temples like the original ones in San Francisco, like that, or Boston, or Montreal, and places like that. If we can create thousands of such temples, there will be no lack of opportunity to open endless supplies of temples. All we have to do is not succumb to the temptation to make it all about me.
I'm the guru, I'm the boss.
Krishna, and make it about Prabhupada in the center.
I'm the guru, I'm the boss.
Well, that's the logic behind it, isn't it?
Yeah, more or less.
Now,
Anyone who
you get thousands of gurus who all want to be the boss.
well, right now we have about 90 and
Okay,
100.
well, there'll be thousands. But then in Mayapur, just consider how many people have taken over Mayapur who are child molesters.
Oh yeah.
And they're creating different paths of rectification so that they can apologize or something of that sort, rectify themselves in one way or another, and continue to initiate, because they all have disciples now. Unbelievable, no?
Yeah, it's just insanity.
Well, that's what we're up against.
We're up against insanity.
Well, yes, but we're not. What we're proposing is the opposite of insane. The opposite of insane. We're proposing sanity, meaning a temple like a storefront or bigger, as the case may be. We don't have to have big temples. A temple with Prabhupada's recording playing, the same one we're playing, have it playing every day, and have people come into the temple and see Prabhupada on the Vyasasan and see pujaris performing artik to deities that are installed. And that's the way it can go on. That's the way it did go on. We don't have to have very big temples. Prabhupada created big temples because they were actually needed, but not to so that some guru will take it over and dominate everybody.
One interesting fact here in the direction of management in 1970, signed and countersigned by Srila Prabhupada and his representatives. All these people are grihastas, you know. All no 11 are grihastas. Shriman Rupanuga Das, Shriman Bhagavan Das, Shriman Shamasundra, Shriman Satsarup, Shriman Karandara Das, Shriman Hansaduta, Shriman Tamal Krishna, Shriman Sudama Das, Shriman Bali Madan Das Brahmachari. So he was the only Brahmachari. Shriman Jagdish Das Adhikari, Shriman Hayagriva Das Adhikari, and Shriman Krishna Das Adhikari. Interesting. I just noticed that.
Yeah.
Only Bali Madan was the Brahmachari, so called.
And he didn't last all that long either.
Yeah. It's such a very wonderful system Srila Prabhupada set up here, how to, uh, uh, run and train new people up.
Bala Mardan ended up leaving. He opened up like 18 temples all around the world when he
Well,
was a brahmachari. It was just amazing. And he wrote books about it. It was really glorious. But then he came back and got married to a woman who he thought was the heiress to the Toyota fortune. It turned out she was a Chinese prostitute.
mhm.
Yes. When they
Oh
had a
my
wedding
God.
in
That's Maya, Prabhu. That's Maya.
Los
It's Maya
Angeles
Kandya show.
at the
Chinese prostitute.
they had their wedding. Prabhupada performed their wedding at the temple that's there now on New Dwarka temple, and I built the whole pavilion and everything for them to get married in. I didn't know what was going on. I just did what I was supposed to do, you see. And Prabhupada, you'd think he would say, no, this is wrong. But he didn't. As far as he was concerned, whatever people wanted to do, they could do. And if they wanted to serve him, then they could definitely serve him. But he didn't object. He married them. Then they came back to New York and they were offering Chinese chicken to the deities. Can you imagine?
Like how does this happen, Prabhu? Like a person being so like have read so many books, have been initiated by Prabhupada, has opened a lot of temples, has preached so much. How can
Well,
this happen?
the whole point is that the disciple is supposed to surrender to the guru. If the disciple develops an independent desire, Prabhupada would satisfy it.
Hmm.
Not because it wasn't worth, not because Prabhupada couldn't see through it. Obviously, he could see through it, but because he wanted everyone, all of his disciples, to have their desires fulfilled.
Hmm.
Bala Mardan had opened 18 temples around the world and stuff like that. He gave him that as his reward, which is what he wanted, not realizing he didn't realize what the deal was.
So how did
I'm sorry? Somehow somebody.
yeah, like okay, so like in spite of falling down, why he was having still the sentiments to offer the chicken to the deities?
Prabhupada's goal was the big goal. In the end, what he wanted was to write books, print books, distribute books.
Hmm.
How are you going to control the behavior of every single person that you initiate?
It's impossible.
It is impossible. Maybe it's not impossible in India when you have a, what you call, let's see, it may not be impossible in India where you have people that are from Brahmin families and they're very obedient and they
Hmm.
are part and parcel of, you know what I mean?
That's a very good point you're raising here. These are Westerners. How can you control these uncontrollable people?
But he did control them because look how many temples we have.
Oh yeah, in that way he did, by giving them, blessings and guidance.
Look at Mayapur. They're building that accursed TVOP there. I mean, look how many big temples have been constructed. Krishna Balaram, Bombay Temple. I was there for Krishna Balaram Temple, for the Bombay Temple, and I was partially there for the TVO, for the Vrindavan Temple. He just wanted to go ahead and used their, essentially, if you really want to look at it from the distance, he was using them.
Why not?
Well, I mean, put it this way, they wanted to use him, so why couldn't he use them? I mean, there's no way to, it's just beyond imagination as to how Prabhupada pulled this all off.
Yeah, you just said something very interesting. It's beyond imagination how Srila Prabhupada pulled this off. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
people are saying if Prabhupada was a pure devotee and Tamal Krishna, Bhavananda, Jay Pataka, Bhakti Charu, they had a scheme of poisoning Srila Prabhupada. If Prabhupada knew that he was being poisoned, why didn't he do anything about it? You know, people are saying like this.
What should he have done? Get a pistol and shoot them?
Yeah, that's what I kind of replied. I said, you know, these are his very so-called disciples. So, you know, he took the poison, you know.
He took the poison because it was offered to him.
Yeah. So what could he do? Like you said.
It's not what could he do, but out of his countless mercy, what did he do? You see, it's out of his causeless mercy that he took the poison, you see?
Wow. So
why did he take it? Because it was offered to him.
Yeah, kind of like
Stop to think of it.
Yeah, like Prahlad Maharaj, he was offered this and that and put here and there. You know, he just took it. You know.
Yes.
That's the mood of
accepted.
He accepted his.
Because he was the son of Hiranyakashipu. Prahlad was. He had taken instruction in the womb, I think, from Narada Muni.
And it's a sign of
And
pure
so
devotee.
he knew
Right?
he was a pure devotee before he was born.
It's simply a sign of a pure devotee. If you guys want to just wrap it off that as a normal, bro, it's a sign of a pure devotee, right? Whatever you give to a pure devotee, he accepts it, right? He accepts it as a gift of Lord Krishna. So
yes, because it has been given him. He sees that the only person who is giving anything is Krishna.
Yeah.
So if your father is a big demon, what is he going to do? Say, Dad, I reject you. He can't do that. He's a son. He can't reject his father.
And one more thing, Prabhu, there are several recordings. There are specific recordings while Prabhupada was on the bed. He is told that the next door guy is against me. You can hear those specific recordings which are done by certain humble devotees, right?
Mohit, say that again.
Haribol, I'm saying that you can hear the specific audio clips, right? Before Prabhupada dying. He said it openly in that there's a guy in the next room who's against me. He's poisoned me. He knew that.
Oh, yeah. But it's interesting how that conversation went. He was not in the same spot where he passed away. He was like in a hospital bed or something of that sort, surrounded by poisoners. So they brought in Ayurvedic doctors to see if they could find a cure. Well, when the Ayurvedic doctors came in, took his pulse, they said, what the heck is going on here? They're poisoning him. They're killing him. There was a Ayurvedic doctor in Vrindavan that Prabhupada had put some faith in.
Yeah.
He took,
Kaviraj.
if you know about this, Ayurveda, of course.
One of his old friends also came there. Yeah.
He took Prabhupada's urine and showed it to his son and said, you see how this urine is separating? Clear example of arsenic poisoning. Does that make sense at all?
Yes, so it makes sense.
What's he going to do? Prabhupada wanted a certain Ayurvedic Kaviraj to come from Florida, and he came all the way from Florida to Vrindavan. And when he came in the door, Prabhupada was so happy to see him. But when he walks in, he looks around the room and he said, holy moly, they're killing him. And if I save him, they will kill me.
Bro, it's like directly offending a pure devotee and then running corporate
Can you
organizations.
imagine?
Was
Whoever
charges filed?
Look at Tamal. Can you imagine where he is right now?
So, bro, clearly, I guess
Mentioned
these
in the
guys
court
are
of Yamaraj. For
these
him, the
guys are
court of
corporate
Yamaraj,
bastards.
they
Nothing
would
else.
have 1,000 people in the court of Yamaraj putting Tamal on trial.
Yes.
There's
Prabhu, I wanted.
there was no limit. And how about Kirtanananda? Big child molester.
So one thing.
Yeah, go ahead, Vinayak Prabhu. Vinayak ji.
Haribo.
Yeah, one thing I want to ask Prabhu, like generally we usually say that these guys will go to hell and these things. However, in Srila Prabhupada's lectures and books, we get to hear that even if we advance in, even if we follow Krishna consciousness even slightly, then at least we will get a human birth in next life. That is guaranteed.
Ramachandra, can you say what he's saying? I hear his words, but I can't clearly understand what he's saying.
He's saying that even though these guys did these things, it's said in the Shastras that what did you say? Even after doing all these things, they'll get a human birth?
No, no, I am saying that Srila Prabhupada taught that even if somebody has advanced in Krishna consciousness, even a little, still he will get a human birth in next life, and he will continue this Krishna consciousness from the point he left.
Oh yes. You will continue in Krishna consciousness from that point. But what about the offenses against the pure devotee?
Oh yeah,
Exactly.
that is not erased.
That can't be erased, Prabhu. You will be given a birth in a very bad
that they
family.
might that's why I wanted to confirm, like
Vinayak, Ramachandra, Rupa Manjari, even perhaps myself, whatever we have done in this lifetime, we will benefit from what we have done in devotional service. Right now, we are benefiting like you wouldn't believe, creating the League for 10K. Why?
Oh, it's a good.
Because we're restoring the movement. And what about all these gurus and all these other guys? They're going to suffer like hell in the court of Yamaraj. I'm concentrating in the court of Yamaraj now. It's not just I'm going to die and God knows what. No.
Yeah.
When a devotee dies, having committed sins, having become a bogus guru, having misled people in Mayapur, all of those people are going to end up in the court of Yamaraj. Ramachandra, is there any way you can look up Yamaraj? Or
Yes,
someone could
that
look
would be
up?
helpful. That would be helpful.
Okay, let me find out. Yamaraj.
Yeah, right. So, Prabhu, but this is a great point which Vinayak has said that if you, if you just stand. Yeah, Prabhu, go ahead.
yeah, like I am having the same question, like in Srimad Bhagavatam, in that I think in 5th canto, when there was Ajamilupakshana. So Srila Prabhupada was explaining that no matter how much sinful somebody can become and no matter how much one can fall down, but if he has taken to Krishna consciousness, then he will at least get a human birth in next life. That is guaranteed.
Well, that is
So-
possible, but not if you're poisoning Prabhupada. So why not look up, can you find Yamaraj, court of Yamaraj, Ramachandra? This is very
But
important
Vinayak
because I
Prabhu-
think we should be concentrating on discussing the court of Yamaraj for all of these gurus, for all of their disciples, for anyone who's committing open and deliberate offenses against Srila Prabhupada. They will go to the court of Yamaraj, and that needs to be clearly understood.
But Prabhu, being offensive against a pure devotee, that can't be, that can't be erased from your karmas, right? I mean,
He can
he can have
forgive
a,
you. He can forgive
yeah.
you, but that does not mean you will have no karmic reaction.
Like,
You
like
think that
there
if
was,
Prabhupada forgave Tamal for poisoning him, that means Tamal has no karmic reaction? Very, very funny.
he
I
might
don't
have
believe
some
so.
he might have some karmic reaction, but he might get the result in a human body. He
So
might get
Ramachandra,
the punishment in a human body.
can you find it? Court of Yamaraj. Court of Yamaraj.
So,
This is
bro,
going to
when
be
I
an important part of our preaching from now on.
Oh,
Narayan,
well, I found something in regards to that. I'll share it. So this is, I mean,
There should be tons and tons of material on the Court of Yamaraj.
so this is just for reference. You know, this is the edited version of Srimad Bhagavatam. This is what I have to research with. But this is from Srimad Bhagavatam 4:413. Prabhupada is saying in his purport here, a great soul may forgive offenses, but Krishna does not excuse offenses to the dust of the great soul's feet. Just as one can tolerate the scorching sunshine on one's head, but cannot tolerate the scorching sunshine on one's feet, an offender glides down more and more. Therefore, he naturally continues to commit offenses at the feet of a great soul. Offenses are generally committed by persons who falsely identify with the impermanent body. So this is Prabhupada's one, offenses regarding great souls.
Yeah, but does there any description of the Court of Yamaraj?
Let me try to find that out. Hold on.
but bro, Nana, bro, I think, bro, Krishna won't forgive.
If you can't find it now, we'll just take let's try to research it for the next time.
Peter Prabhu said it's described in the Garuda Purana. It's a Purana that Prabhupada did not.
Yeah, it's in Garuda Purana.
Purana has to say.
There is a description about the court of Yamaraj and like Yamadutas and all these things. However, like our point of discussion was that like whether those people who once upon their lives surrender to Prabhupada and later they fall down and they have committed offense to their spiritual masters. So whether they will not be given any human body again, or they will be sent to hell, or these things. So that I wanted
to. Go to the spiritual master, throw yourself at his lotus feet, said, Master, I have committed this offense. He can forgive you, and you will be forgiven.
I don't think so, bro.
But you're simply like Kirtanananda, or Tamal, or any of those. If you do all of what they did, there is no forgiveness because the forgiveness was never asked.
Krishna won't forgive you, bro, because you've killed a pure devotee. Krishna is very...
well, the pure devotee could absolve you if you ask him to, but I don't recall that anyone ever asked Prabhupada to absolve them from poisoning him. Because they're already planning the next step.
Yeah. How to become a big guru.
So we need to find this.
President.
Ramachandra, do you know anyone or who can find the description, a full? I've read the Court of Yamaraj in great detail in the past, many years ago.
That's also in Srimad Bhagavatam about different hells and court of Yamaraj and all these things. That's also there in Srimad Bhagavatam. Maybe before, like in the ending of 4th canto, there is some explanation.
I know I read about it early on in the movement, not later on.
Yeah, maybe.
Anyhow, I would say, quite frankly, it's just as we are playing that recording of Prabhupada, and you can see Krishna. I don't know what you can see, but when I hear Prabhupada chanting, I can see the flickering of Krishna giving the mantra to Prabhupada. That's why I wanted to use that recording.
Sure. Hare Krishna.
Not that difficult. You just look and you'll see Krishna if you're receptive. So now we need to find a court of Yamaraj, because quite frankly, everything that's going on at ISKCON now will be subject to the court of Yamaraj.
I can't. You're coming in sporadic, Nara.
Hmm.
Who's this?
Oh, nothing good. I think there was some disturbance. Peter Prabhu is saying, there's some comments here. Let me read it. One comment Peter made at 9:02 p.m. He said he wanted goose that lays golden egg, but got a Chinese chicken. He's referring to Bali Madan Maharaj.
Oh, yeah.
And then Rupa Manjari says, ha ha. And then there is Peter Prabhu made another comment here. Srila Prabhupada is merciful like Shiva, simply mercy. People in this world don't understand because they are very unmerciful. Yeah, that's a very,
But he is, the pure devotee is far more merciful than Lord Shiva. Lord Shiva gives mercy to demons.
right.
You see, he gives demons what they want. That's how they become empowered. They pray to Shiva and he gives them their power.
Yeah, exactly, bro. If you want material things, you can go to Shivji. He will give it to you instantly. And he will say that we chant the holy names of
But
the
then
Lord.
what happens to you as a result? That's the big question,
Yeah.
right? We have to understand there's no free lunch.
Oh yeah, there's no. Yeah, generally, whenever Lord Shiva gives a benediction, it's tainted with the modes of Tamagun.
Yeah, but then you get an opportunity to get killed by Krishna.
Everything Lord Shiva does is Tamagun because he represents Tamagun.
Many times he or several times he gave blessings to demons where the demons went and attacked him. First thing they did was attack him. So
Exactly.
so let's not go
That's
there.
why, that's why his name is Bholenath ji. In India, Bhole means very.
Well, Lord Shiva also gave benedictions to the Pandavas. They were pure devotees, but Lord Krishna was with them and guiding them. So,
yeah.
What benediction does Shiva give to the Pandavas?
I think they got
weapons. They got weapons.
Okay, that's something else, you see.
And
because the weapons are in Tamagun and the war is in Tamagun, therefore it was provided by Lord Shiva. I mean, I will tell you, Govinda will not, Radha Krishna will not supply you with weapons.
Not at all possible. So, Prabhu, I've sent you a link in the chat where all the Prabhupada quotes about Yamaraj and all the talkings are there. You can find it there from 7 to 12. Yeah. So just find out that and then we can read it in the next meeting, right?
Sure.
I'll send you the text.
Yeah. They'll be fine.
Yeah.
Okay. Peter also said paths to Yamaloka, all described in detail in Garuda Purana. Very interesting descriptions in Garuda Purana. When the Pandavas finally went to went to heaven, Duryodhana was already there. So you never know where a soul will wind up.
Well, we have to be very careful about reading things like Garuda Purana. We can only read from Prabhupada's direct writing.
Mohit, you sent me something, but it's not a working link.
It's not working. I'll send it to you again. Wait.
Okay.
It's working, bro. Vani quotes.
Okay, hold on. Let's see. 1 second.
Let me send it again. I'll send it to you on WhatsApp, bro.
There's this one.
Okay, so we need to have a part of our discourse with the League for 10K needs to be just like we have the Prabhupada Kirtan. we have to discuss at the beginning the court of Yamaraj.
Yamalok.
Because all of these people are going to be subject to the court of Yamaraj. They may not think they are. They think they are going to go back to home, back to Godhead. But they're not.
Ronald Prabhu is saying Yamlok Kirtans.
Yamalok Kirtan, hold on, where is it?
I'm surprised that you can't find anything in Prabhupada's writing or references.
Mohit Prabhu, this is the link you gave me here. Is this it?
Yamaraj?
It's not there, bro. It's opening in my phone, I guess. It's some country specific thing. Wait a sec.
I don't know. It's not coming up here. This is the link.
Oh,
it's opening in my.
Impossible to imagine.
It's opening in my laptop, bro. I mean, in my laptop on my phone.
Okay, I'll give you a share, so maybe you can share it.
Yeah.
Okay. Hold on one second, Mohit Prabhu.
No issues anymore.
Unless one is born into a family of pure devotees, there's always the danger of the court of Yamaraj.
Got it, bro.
Okay.
And all the people that like to fancy themselves Hindus and stuff like that, there's no reason to believe they will not be subject to the court of Yamaraj. They just think they are not. So I'm just totally astonished that we can't find the court of Yamaraj fully explained. Under what canto would it be? Fifth canto, maybe?
Mohit is looking it up. I gave him the host, so he's gonna share it.
Just give me a sec, bro. Just 1 sec.
Okay.
I'm just opening that.
It will clearly be in the Srimad Bhagavatam.
Yes, bro.
The court of Yamaraj is clearly explained in the Mahabharata, but Prabhupada didn't translate the Mahabharata.
You can see my screen, bro? Haribo?
Yes.
Yes. So these are specific cantos, I mean from 7th canto, where Prabhupada has written specifically in regards to Yamraj, right?
Yes.
So if anyone can read, then we can go ahead, yeah.
Yeah, but if we can find the topic, though.
Ronald
We're
Prabhu,
not just looking for the word Yamaraj, we're looking for his kingdom.
Yeah, bro.
Okay, there we go. I can read now. All right, where should I start, Mohit?
We'll just start from the starting and just, I guess I need to search the court of Yamraj, right? The word?
Keeps bouncing around.
Well, it gives the Srimad Bhagavatam which cantos, canto 7.
So, bro, it's canto 7, canto 8, canto 9, canto 10.1 to 10.13, canto 10.12 to 12, yeah.
Because what we're looking for is a clear description of what happens. Now, in the case of Ajamil, he was being dragged by the Yamadutas to the court of Yamaraj. When a person who's sinful dies, he's dragged by the Yamadutas to the court of Yamaraj. But because on his deathbed, he cried out not for Krishna, but for his son, who he had named Narayan. He cried, Narayan, Narayan. Then the Narayanadutas came and delivered him back to Godhead. But otherwise, the Yamadutas were going to come there, and I believe they had a bit of a squabble over him.
So, bro, that Ajamila story is here if you want to read that puppet. Haribol?
Yeah, someone can read.
Yeah.
Okay, let me read. Where is it?
But we don't want to get distracted.
Let's see here.
So we have one here with
Ajamil, where should I read? I'm getting
Read it,
double.
read it. Read the purport, bro. You can read it from here or wherever you want. Ajamila separate it, right? Or
Okay,
read it
okay.
from here.
Okay, let's
Yeah.
see here. Okay, here, okay. If a person too attached to the duties of family maintenance is unable to control his senses, the core of his heart is immersed in how to accumulate money, although he knows that no one takes the wealth of others. No, what is it? Although he knows that one who takes the wealth of others will be punished by the law of the government and by the laws of Yamaraj after death, he continues cheating others to acquire money. Okay, especially in these. Okay, where are we going? Okay, let me read. Especially in these days, people do not believe in a next life or in the court of Yamaraj and the various punishments of the sinful. But at least one should know that one who cheats others to acquire money will be punished by the laws of the government. Nonetheless, people who do not care about the laws of this life or those governing next, despite whatever knowledge one has, one cannot stop his sinful activities if he is unable to control his senses. Ajamil separated himself from the Supreme Personality of Godhead by performing many sinful activities and was condemned by Yamaraj to be very severely punished. But because at the time of death he chanted the name Narayana, although he was calling not for the Supreme Lord Narayan, but for his son named Narayana, he was saved from the hands of Yamaraj. Okay? What's next?
This
Okay.
Hiranyakashipu, yeah.
Okay. Hiranyakashipu said, "O most impudent, most unintelligent disruptor of the family, O lowest of mankind, you have violated my power to rule you, and therefore you are an obstinate fool. Today I shall send you to the place of Yamaraj." Okay. Okay. A devotee cares about the instructions of Krishna, not of those of the demons or non-devotees. He does not give any respect to a demon, even though the demon be his father. What does it say? Ma chas no vitam. Prahlad Maharaj was disobedient to the orders of his demoniac father, Yama Kashyam. Every conditioned soul is under the control of Yamaraj, but Hiranyakashipu said that he considered Prahlada Maharaj his deliverer, for Prahlad would stop Hiranyakashipu's repetition of birth and death. Okay. As stated by Yamaraj, Dharman tu Shakshat Bhagavad Paranitam. Yamaraj, the representative of Lord who takes care of the living beings after their death, gives his verdict as how and when the living entity will change his body. He is the authority, and he says that religious principles consist of the codes and laws given by God. Okay, in the 6th chapter of Srimad Bhagavatam, in connection with Ajamil's deliverance, Yamaraj says, Dharman tu Shakshat Bhagavat Pranitam. Real religion is that which is given by the Supreme Personality of Godhead, but as real law is that which is given by the government.
Not as which is given by GVC. This is to be understood, bro. Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to continue or what? I think we have.
So we have read from the Canto 7, bro. Now it's 8, right? But this is not related to us. Yeah, it's lusty desires.
No, we're touching on it. But what we need is a complete description of what it's like in the court of Yamaraj. What happens to a jiva who passes judgment on that person, etc. Because that's what's going to happen to all these ISKCON gurus.
Okay, let me see if there's any comments. We're coming down to the.
I'll share you the exact readings, bro. I'll find it and I'll share
Sure,
it.
sure, yes. No problem.
This was just a quick reference to what Prabhupada has given. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I would like everyone to look up the Court of Yamaraj as best they can. I will also
okay,
try
send me
to
the
find
picture.
out authoritative scripture.
Yes, punishments. Oh.
But from that reading, bro, one thing was clear, that if you go against the will of your pure devotee and against Lord Krishna, you will Yamaraj will come to you. So that's clear from that. Yeah.
Or you will come to Yamaraj, because there's two types of dutas. Narayana dutas that take you back to Vishnu Loka, and then the I'm sorry, the Yama dutas. Yama means death in Sanskrit. The lords of death. The Yama dutas are the servants of the Lord of Death. Yamaraj is the Lord of Death.
And one more thing, Prabhu. I mean, your point was also correct, that they've not taken any. I mean, they've not gone to Prabhupada directly because they wanted to poison him, right? After his death, they can't take any blessings from him that we have done such things and just forgive us.
No.
So, yeah.
I don't think they asked for any blessings from him, did they?
Yeah.
They thought they knew what they were doing.
So that clearly answers Vinayak Prabhu's
And right
question.
now in Mayapur, they still think they know what they are doing.
Yeah. And after his death also, they are not following as Prabhupada told. So they're indirectly disrupting ISKCON, they're indirectly disrupting the teachings of Prabhupada. They'll face.
But what we need to concentrate on is what is going to happen to these ISKCON gurus.
They will face Yamaraj, Prabhu, that's for sure. You can't, I mean, Krishna will not forgive you. Yeah. It's simple.
It is simple, but we need to see it in black and white.
Whenever you've done any offense against a pure devotee or any devotee which is into Krishna consciousness, you should go for a forgiveness if you understand that. But these guys have just directly offended, so there's no point there.
Opposite. They're continuing to offend. They have got people that are been molesting children for 20 years, and now they are saying they should be held to account. Well, how could, and yet they will remain as gurus.
So that's all a political drama which these guys are doing. So yeah.
Okay, we have some pictures from the court of Yamaraj. As you can see here. And then
this is just touching the tip of the iceberg, you know.
What is this?
I don't think we've taken up too much time, because this is the most important topic right now.
Court of Yamaraj.
Bobby Hebert came up with the, Vishwakarma Das came up with the, he came up with the
Yama sensi rituals to
Mayapur. In fact, you know what we could do is contact Bobby Hebert and have him tell us about the court of, give us the references for the court of Yamaraj. Do you think you could do that, Ramachandra?
He is in Yashodanandan Prabhu's group.
Yes, I was going to say that. Yeah.
Yashodanandan. He's got his own burden to pay.
Let's not get there right now.
Right.
Yeah. The burning desire of fame and money.
Here we go. Peter Prabhu shared something nice here. It
Very good.
is here, Lord Yamaraj.
I guess, Prabhu, this suffices much closer to what we were talking. Yeah.
Yeah, Yamaraj is a pure devotee. And the recording of everybody's sinful activity, including yours and mine, is in a document called the Akashic Record. And that Akashic Record goes down to every single moment that we live and how we act in this context or in that context. So we all have some accounting to be done. But if we chant Hare Krishna like Ramachandra, like Mohit, like Vinayak, and like Rupa Manjari, and possibly even myself, we will be able to deal with this situation.
So, Prabhu, a question again, like how about those devotees who are who are disciples of Srila Prabhupada, and they were not able to become pure devotees in their life? So, will they be taking birth again and again like small young children, and then they will take initiation from Srila Prabhupada again?
Anyone who has not completed their Krishna consciousness will take another birth to complete their Krishna consciousness.
And
if they die now, like you and I die now, if we take initiation from a bogus ISKCON guru, then we will not make advancement. And that's where our misfortune will begin.
And maybe like the people who are like these Prabhupada Anugas right now, so the young people, maybe 20, 25-year-old guys who are Prabhupada Anugas right now, it might be possibility that in previous lives they were also disciples of Prabhupada.
That's a good opportunity. That's a good thought. Very likely, in fact.
Like Ramchandra Prabhu might be your god brother in his previous life also.
Well, pretty much anyone who became initiated by Prabhupada was probably a devotee in a previous life. And so they're being given a chance to purify themselves. Well, look what they did with that chance.
And also a disciple of Prabhupada in their previous lives.
I'm sorry?
And also might be a disciple of Prabhupada in previous lives.
Could be. It
like
depends
we have
what they did.
Ramchandra Prabhu here.
It's like Kirtanananda is a devoted disciple of Prabhupada in this life. Does that mean he was never a disciple of Prabhupada in a previous life? We can't say that. Basically, anybody who became very much quickly advanced in Krishna consciousness is most likely been a devotee, disciple of Prabhupada in a previous life. But that does not make an excuse for sinful activity.
Okay, we have about 20 minutes for booze. Let me see if there's
20
any
minutes
questions.
remaining?
Yeah, 30, 50, 60, yeah, about 15 minutes, I guess. No.
Do you have any way of exploring Yamaraj anymore?
We'll send someone to Yamaraj.
Don't say that.
I'll let you know what it's like.
Please have a talk with them, Prabhu. Then we can have a good discussion with Vinayak Prabhu on that, no?
We'll send a message.
I'm sort of amazed that if you look up Prabhupada's writing and you look up Yamaraj, you can't find anything.
No, it's there, but I cannot find it right now. You just have to be okay, hell. Let me look up hell. Hell.
Or hellish birth.
Hellish, ISH. They're trying to find the description.
You're muted, Ramachandra.
Ramachandra, are you aware that you're muted?
helps.
Buddhist people that have that all
Okay, okay.
described.
Peter Prabhu's.
So Naraka, hells, and Buddhism.
Okay, okay. Let's see here. Fine. We will have to research that and come back. Peter Prabhu has.
I'll go through the Garuda Purana.
Yeah, Peter Prabhu, he's gonna find some stuff and we'll present it next time. So, hang in. Okay, let me see here.
The main thing to understand is there is a court of Yamaraj. There are going to be all of these people in Mayapur that are gurus that are molesting children, all that. They will have to go to the court of Yamaraj and they will be punished like anything. So we don't have to worry about having them arrested in this lifetime. I mean, it would be nice if we could. It would be good for them. Because if they're punished in this lifetime, they have to take less punishment later on at the end of their life.
I have a question.
In being punished. Oh, yes.
I read somewhere that regardless of what sins you have incurred, that if you're wearing a Tulsi mala or a Tulsi necklace around your neck, that the Yamadutas can't take you. That the Narayan
I was
Dutas-
about to ask the same.
Yes, well, it all depends on what you're doing with the Tulsi mala around your neck. I don't know. We have to research this. But I mean, do you think Kirtananda, the Yamadutas, will take him?
Well, if he was wearing Tulsi, then he's wearing Tulsi.
Yeah, but anyone can wear Tulsi. But anyhow, that's a good point. These are the points we need to look up and research.
Okay, let me see here.
I was also going to say that, bro, that yeah, if someone is wearing a Tulsi Mala, Yamaraj can touch him. But the point is, if you're doing bad karmas, then what? If you know the knowledge, then also you're doing bad karmas, then Yamaraj will surely come to you.
Well, that's an interesting question because I'm sure Kirtananda left his body wearing Tulsi Mala, tilak, shaved head, dhoti, everything. So then what happened to him?
I don't know how he died, so I can't ask him the question. So whoever has seen his samadhi or whatever the hell they put him into, maybe they can describe it.
Well, if they are into that deeply, they probably had a high opinion of him.
Yeah.
But what about someone like Bhavananda? Well, he's still alive.
Bhavananda's still roaming around giving Bhagavatam classes and saying that, oh, I'm opening the TiVo VP pretty soon.
Yeah. Well, there will be durable karmic reactions for all of that.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Okay, here, let me see if there's any comments on Facebook. Hold on.
What I think we need to do is contact Bobby Hebert and ask him about these things.
Hare Krishna.
Because he seems to have a good resources.
Right.
So anyhow, have we pursued this enough?
That's it.
And should we do a different topic before closing?
It's I think enough for now, yeah.
But the one point I wanted to make is, from now on, our League for 10K must be dealing with the court of Yamaraj as pertains to what we could call bogus gurus.
Bogus.
Does it make sense at all?
Yeah. Okay. Let's see here. Okay, there's no comments on Facebook and YouTube, so.
We scared them away.
Yeah.
And rightly so.
Let's see.
Haribo, what's going
Yes,
on?
well,
Hello.
You tell me. We're just trying to see if I have any comments.
Acha, got it.
Okay, there's no comments, so next meeting is on Thursday next week. Anyone is interested in making a comment, question, please feel free to send us a message or post in the comments section, and we'll reply to you.
We still have 11 minutes left to this meeting. Shall
Yeah.
we leave it on a different tone, on a different note?
Yeah, any note you like, Prabhu's. Okay.
I always like Prabhupada tones, so bro, you can play some Prabhupada Kirtan if possible.
Sure.
That would be a nice idea.
You can play the
Alright.
Jaya Radha Madhava, Kunja
Okay.
Bihari, that's great. Yeah.
All right. Let's see. Jai Radha Madhava.
Kunja Bihari, Haribol.
Jai Radha Madhava.
That's so pure, bro, that I guess if someone hears it sincerely, he would just
He will fall down and tremble in ecstasy.
yeah, exactly.
Okay, here we go.
That's the power of a pure devotee, bro. Very well. Play it, bro.
Yeah, whoever here is. Oh, by the way, the Assassin where Prabhupada is sitting, I made it back in 1969.
Jai, Jai, Nana Prabhu ki Jai. Haribol.
Is this in Los Angeles?
Yes.
Oh.
Ramachandra Prabhu,
Yeah.
do you want to check and see if there's any comments on the website?
1 second, yeah.
No
Let me just
comment.
do that. Last.
Comments were not there, bro. Yeah. That's why
Yeah,
we
I checked, but let me check one more time.
Oh, okay. I didn't know you checked.
Yeah, last minute check. Okay, I'm seeing it. Okay, there was one. Oh, Krishna.
Haribo, my favorite. Haribo. Jai.
Okay. Where's that? Okay, so there was one last comment or question. 1 second. Here, Bangladesh SPK is asking, do the devotee mentors or guides we connected with be called as Shiksha Gurus? Yeah. Do the devotee mentors or guides we connected with be called as Shiksha Gurus? So what's the, well, Shiksha Guru. So Prabhupada is saying the Shiksha Guru and the Diksha Guru, there's no difference. So if the Shiksha Guru is a pure devotee, then yeah, no problem. But if they're not pure devotees, then that's questionable too. Well, the general definition that Prabhupada gives for guru is someone who's heavier than you in knowledge, right? If they joined 6 months before you, obviously they might know something more than you. So in that way, you can consider them some sort of guru.
Yeah, we can consider anyone guru who can give us any knowledge we didn't have about Krishna before.
Yeah.
But that doesn't translate into being a Diksha Guru.
Yeah.
This whole Diksha Guru business is completely bogus. And this is why
he was asking about Shiksha Guru.
Yeah, well, Shiksha, it's described in, why don't you go do your explanation from the, from the
Chaitanya Chaitamrita says the Shiksha Guru becomes the Diksha Guru later. So in that case, if you take that statement as the absolute statement, then he cannot be a Shiksha Guru unless he's an Uttama Adhikari.
Yeah. So why not also describe what is in the Nectar of Instruction, verse 5?
Oh yeah, Nectar of Instruction, verse 5. Let's go there real fast. Okay. It's all covered in Prabhupada's book, so it's just not.
Yeah, it's just that people don't want to see it.
Yeah, that's the problem.
The idea is that anyone can become a guru, disciple can then become a guru, but they do not realize what is involved.
No, absolutely not. Okay, here we go. We're gonna read it and then we'll end the meeting here. Okay. And the present day so-called people in ISKCON, they have clearly avoided this point here. Okay. About the Kanishta, Madhyam, and Uttama Adhikari, where Srila Prabhupada is.
They don't, as far as I know, I am not aware of anyone else other than myself that Prabhupada made that clear distinction of Kanishta, Madhyam, Uttama Adhikari too. And he did it in about 45 minutes and very clearly delineated.
We're not talking about that. We're talking about the Nectar of Instruction, verse 5. Who can be the Diksha Guru here? So let's read that.
Yeah.
Here, Srila Prabhupada is saying in the Upadeshamrita by, who's this? By Rupa Goswami, verse 5. In this verse, Srila Rupa Goswami advises the devotee to be intelligent enough to distinguish between the Kanishta Adhikari, the Madhyam Adhikari, and Uttama Adhikari. The devotee should also know his own position and should not try to imitate a devotee situated on a higher platform. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur has given some practical hints to the effect that an Uttama Adhikari Vaishnava can be recognized by his ability to convert many fallen souls to Vaishnavism. One should not become a spiritual master unless he's attained the platform of Uttama Adhikari. Let me read it again. One should not become a spiritual master unless he has attained the platform of Uttama Adhikari. A neophyte Vaishnava or a Vaishnava situated on the intermediate platform can also accept disciples, but such disciples must be on the same platform, and it should be understood that they cannot advance very well toward the ultimate goal of life under his insufficient guidance. Therefore, a disciple should be careful to accept an Uttama Adhikari as a spiritual master. So,
maybe the ISKCON gurus think that they are Uttama Adhikaris.
That's like,
well, they have got a big stretch to explain, don't they?
Well, if they are Uttama Adhikaris, then let's see, have they expressed that sort of realization in, many transcendental volumes of spiritual literature? Have they established, hundreds and hundreds of temples? So I don't think they have even come close to that standard that Srila Prabhupada has set. So
the followers of Narayan Maharaj think that he's Prabhupada's successor and that he's a pure devotee.
Well, they can think whatever they want, right?
But there is ample evidence that he's not.
Yeah. So I mean, they say that like that, or
yeah, they told me that's what they believe.
Oh.
Yeah, they believe it, but that's just because Prabhupada wasn't there. They took advantage of Narayan Maharaj claiming to have that quality. But Prabhupada, I don't know if you've ever read Narayan Maharaj's biography of Prabhupada. The very title blows that out of the water, because they said, my Shiksha Guru Priya Bandhu. He said Shiksha Guru means guru, Priya Bandhu means best friend. In the Bhagavad Gita, it states clearly that you cannot have your guru. Krishna says to Arjuna, now it's time for friendly talks to cease. Why? Because you cannot be the friend and guru at the same time.
Actually,
so Narayan Maharaj endless blunders like that.
Rupa, actually, the problem here is that after Prabhupada dying, these guys went to Narayan Swami Maharaj Ji. So that's why he thinks that he is the one and he can oversee, he can be the next guru for 10,000 years, but that's not true. His disciples say that, but yeah, that's not true. Yeah.
The reason the disciples were saying it because they were drug addicts and stuff like that. And got kicked out of ISKCON. And as a result, they thought, oh, that's fantastic. Now we have a pure devotee who's accepted it. That's not
okay, it time's up.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you very much to all the devotees for joining us. A wonderful discussion. Our next
I will say that the Narayan Maharaj provided an atmosphere into which Prabhupada's fallen and sinful disciples could take shelter. And that does not make him a pure devotee. That simply makes him a shelter, Boy Scout leader.
Okay. I love this quote. This is recorded, and these are golden words by His Grace Narayan Prabhu. Love it.
Yes. Perfect statements. Okay, Hare Krishna.
Hari Bol, thank you for joining everyone. See you on Sunday.
To all of you.
Hari Bol.
Jai Shri Krishna.
Jai Shri Krishna.